Hi guys, welcome to today's chat show here on Buzzin Pattaya. And firstly, I want to say thank you so much to all of you who have taken the time to send in your questions. I've got lots of questions and I've picked out some that I think would be good fun to talk about. And as you may or may not see, there's a glimmer on my side of my face here. Don't worry, I'm not in the limelight, it's just the sun's rising. And I've got a beautiful view. You know, I'm so lucky. I sit here on my balcony every morning with my cup of coffee and I catch up with everything that's going on. But yeah, what a beautiful view we've got. And every morning, every single morning, I'm subjected to this wonderful sunrise, which really is magnificent. So I'm very, very lucky. All right, so today's Q&A session, the questions I've been sent in have been brilliant. We're going to go through those in a second. But before I do that, I just want to welcome some new members. I'd like to welcome Brett Keown, Steve V, King Kong, Mr. Ken, Tez Gamble, Simon Allison, Mort151 and Moon. Guys, thank you so much for joining the channel here. Please remember to send me your email 247pattaya@gmail.com, and of course I in turn will send you back your digital ID card, which once things resume to whatever the new normal is, and whenever the new normal will be resumed, I will in turn send you out your digital ID card, which you can go back and try and get some, well not try, but you'll get your discounts. It's just a way of saying thank you guys for your support to the channel. And just to clarify one thing, I've had a few people send me in their details, etc., and they're not actual members, they're just subscribers. And I just want to clarify that this is for the members, the paying monthly members, and it's purely just a way of trying to give you something back for your support for the channel. And hopefully with the discounts that you can redeem, in all fairness, your membership should be free. All right, so today's questions, we've got some really good questions here. I want to start off with Mian Rashid. Said, do you notice a steady increase in the cost of bar fines and the cost the girls are charging? Mian, my friend, of course things are going up. You know, it's a natural progression. Obviously prices increase in every aspect of life, not just with the regards to what we're talking about today. So, you know, don't forget these bars that have got the girls working in, you know, they are reliant on these kind of incomes, certainly the bar fines, in order to sustain their income levels to pay the rents. You know, the landlords, you know, they charge more and more money, and they're looking to squeeze a little bit more out of you. And of course, don't forget there is the added pressure that for every person in a bar that says, well, I can't really afford it, there's a guy around the corner saying, well, I'll pay it. So they are under immense pressure to pay these extortionate rents and to try and recover the money in order to pay those rents and electric and all the other stuff that they have to pay. But the other aspect is, and you know, one of the things that you need to be aware of is that the people that come here on holiday, and guys, I would be the same as you, so I'm not throwing stones in the glass house, I would be the same as you, but the guys that come here on holiday that have been saving up all year or particularly well off, that enable them to enjoy themselves to the max. You know, when you're tossing around money like it's confetti, obviously, you know, the girls latch on to that. They're not stupid. You know, we seem to think these girls are idiots and they just do what they do because they've got no outlook in life. But to be honest with you, I know some of these girls that make whatever you're earning look like chicken feed. You know, I know some girls that earn serious amount of money, that have got nice houses, nice cars, everything, and they just laugh. You know, they're like, look, you know, for your little 10 minutes worth of fun, look what I've got. And to be honest with you, if there is any truth in being reborn, I want to choose to be a woman and live out here, because, you know, it really is incredible the amount of money that they can earn. But you see, that in turn goes back to the fact that if a girl has got you by the short and curlies, and let's face it, generally speaking, by the time you're talking about this particular part of the conversation, as in how much, 9 times out of 10 they've got you by the short and curlies. But you know, if it was a 300 baht bar fine and they said, oh, it's 400, or if they say it was 1500 and they've changed it to 2000, for a lot of people, you know, the point of haggling really is just gone past. So it's like, you know what, whatever, let's go and have some fun. So of course, you know, the girls will pick up on that, and they will think to themselves, well, hang on, you know, this guy's just paid that, and this guy here's saying, oh, you know, that's expensive. And they know, just like with the bars in the landlord situation, they know that the minute that you walk off, and I'm not talking about right now, but the minute that you walk off, there is 99% chance someone else will come on the scene and will pay the amount that they're looking for. So it is really like a double-edged sword, if I'm being honest, because if you stand your ground and say no and they say, well, do one, then you've lost out. And if you do part with the cash that they're demanding, well, then we're just creating a rod for our own back, in my opinion. But having said all of this, guys, you know, listen, if I was here on holiday, as I have been in years and years ago, you know, I would do the same. You know, let's not beat about the bush. There's no pointing fingers saying you're causing us problems, because you're not, because you're doing what everybody else in the world would do, myself included. But it is, as I said, a double-edged sword, man. So there is an increase in the prices, no doubt about that. And I can't imagine, even with the situation we're in now, I mean, if anything, the prices are going up, but hey, that's Thai logic. But you know, even when things do settle down, whenever that may or may not be, I would be very surprised if the bar fines or the costs are reduced. I think they will stay the same, and possibly maybe increase to try and recover what has been an incredibly difficult 12-15 months for these places. So there you go, man. Hopefully that's answered your question. Okay, so Miami, now he's asked the question, is it easy to get emotionally attached to a girl, and is it hard to stick to the 3-day rule? Listen, my friend, if you didn't have blood in your veins, then you really would struggle, because it really is very, very difficult. Now, I know there are people on the channel here that are going to say, no, I do what I need to do, I have my fun, and that's it. After a day, they've gone. We're not talking about the one-night exchanges. And to a degree, I understand the one nights, because obviously that protects you from the possibility of what we're going to discuss right now. However, some people do come here and don't want to be bar hopping, don't want to be searching around night after night after night. And also, if you find that you do bump into somebody that ticks all your boxes and you know you have a fantastic time with, maybe you don't want to end that relationship, because at the end of the day, if you're having a great time and everything's all good, all hunky-dory, why would you? You know, why would you? So the problem is, Miami, is that, you know, we are human beings. At the end of the day, you know, it really rattles my cage when people back home say, oh, you're just a sad pervert, blah, blah, blah. Listen, we all have feelings, and we all have a heart, and we all have a mind, and we're all entitled. We are all entitled to have enjoyment in our life. And as I've said this 100 times, you know, and I'll say it 100 times more, I've yet in all my years of being here seen anyone having to drag someone down the road screaming and kicking, I don't want to go, I've never seen it. You know, it is an amicable discussion between two consenting adults, and what will be will be. But the problem is where I think the biggest issue is not about the 3-day rule, it's about being real. So, you know, it's a bit like when you start a new job. You know, when you start a new job, it's all singing, it's all dancing, you're excited, you want to tick all the boxes, you want to impress the boss, you want to make sure whatever it is you're doing is the best of your ability. Fast forward a year, you may still be doing that, and perhaps you've been promoted, whatever, fair play to you if that's the situation. Fast forward 5 years, maybe the gloss has gone, you know, and it's not so exciting to get out of bed at the early hours of the morning to go to work, etc., etc. It becomes more of a chore. Now relate that back to your newfound companion. Well, for the first 3 days, honestly, they are going to tick all your boxes. They really are, because obviously they want to stay with you because of, you know, obvious reasons. But if that 3 days becomes 7, if that 7 days becomes 2 weeks, it becomes a month, whatever, eventually, as in every single relationship in all around the world, it's very unlikely that the stars will always shine on you night after night, and that, you know, it's going to be all fantastic. I agree there are some people out there that are lucky, and I class myself as one of those. You know, my missus and I, we have an incredible relationship, and it really is, you know, I would never have thought about this relationship in any other way unless it had happened. And so I'm very lucky with my missus, you know. But my point being is that these girls will just want to please you in every single possible way. So is it real? You know, these 3 days that you're getting sucked into, is it real? Because you might find, if you continue it a bit further, that, you know, emotions start getting attached, and obviously feelings, etc. And lo and behold, eventually it's not as you deemed, and in fact it was more to her advantage than it was to your advantage. So these are things that you need to be aware of regarding the 3-day rule. Is it easy to break? Of course it's not. Of course it's not. If you've had 3 fantastic days with a girl and she's ticking all your boxes, why would you want to break it? That doesn't make any sense. So it's another, you know, I said about this in the first chat about the double-edged sword. This is another double-edged sword because, you know, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So what I would suggest you do is just keep your cards close to your heart as much as you possibly can. Try to, if anything, try to find fault in your day's activities with the person you're with, because that might just keep you away from losing reality. And, you know, just be very, very careful, because it's so easy to trigger those emotions, and the 3-day rule becomes becomes more than 3 days, and before you know it, you're at the airport and it's all going wrong, and you know you're upset because you're going home and leaving your newfound love of your life behind, etc, etc. Then you start sending money, and you know then she's back doing what it really can become a can of worms. So Miami, it's not easy to stick to, my friend. It's easy to say it, of course it is, yeah, 3 days guys and jog on. It ain't that easy, it really isn't. All right, so Bad Boy UK. Now you've asked a great question, and I covered this yesterday in a discussion about the laws of Thailand. Now you've asked a great question about what clothes to wear when you come here on holiday. What I would do is firstly say to you guys, long sleeve shirts, long pants, personally, throw them back in your wardrobe. You don't need them, because out here it's very hot. I mean, I'm talking to you now, it's the early hours of the morning. Look at the sun, it's beaming down on me, and you know we're about to start another very hot day here. You can get away with wearing the vests all day if that's your cup of tea. You know, you really can do that. This kind of place just accepts it. But I would suggest loose fitting clothing. I would suggest like light t-shirts, nothing that's too clingy, because it does get very hot here. And what I'm going to do, just bear with me, because I'm very conscious now. I'm like one size light, one size dark. So let me spin this around a bit. 1 second. Oh. Now move me coffee and turn this around. There we go. I think that's a bit better. All right. Yeah, that's better. I've got the wall there. Let's take the wall out. There we are. So yeah, so just dress accordingly. And you know, you don't need to be dressed to impress out here. You know, all these, you know, if you bring your Armani t-shirts and your Gucci's and all that kind of stuff, you know, half the girls think it's a copy from Mike Moore anyway. So I wouldn't really worry about it. I would just come out here with lots of casual clothes. I mean, some of you don't like wearing flip-flops, you prefer to wear shoes and socks, etc. Not my cup of tea, me personally, but I would just say lots of loose fitting clothing, and don't think you need to dress to impress, because you don't. Now, here is one thing I want to tell you that maybe if you watched the video yesterday, you'll know what I'm talking about. But did you know that it is illegal here in Thailand to go commando? If you're caught not wearing any underpants, you can get fined and get yourself in trouble. I know you're sitting there thinking, really? Like, what is he going on about? But it's true. It is a law here in Thailand. Having said that, in the 10 years I've lived here, I've yet to know anybody that says, oh mate, you won't believe this. The other day I got caught with my pants down and literally they fined me. But here's the scenario that maybe will catch you out, that I can only see being the way that it would happen. Because let's be honest, you know, no teapot fun's going to walk up and say, right mate, drop your pants, I want to see if you've got any undercarriage on. But if you was to have an accident, let's say you've hired a motorbike or whatever, or you've tripped over, let's say something's gone wrong and you're admitted to hospital. If the nurse or the doctor have to remove your shorts because they need access to, maybe you've cut your thigh or whatever, and you're meeting 2 veggies hanging out, I believe you may well find yourself in hot water, possibly. So just bear that one in mind, guys. But it really is, have a look, Google it, it really is illegal to go commando here in Thailand. There you go, learn something new every day. All right, where are we? Carl David says, what do my family and friends think of my life here? 1 second. Do you like me cup? That's my boy. See, I taught him well, good old Arsenal. He's not that small anymore now he's 14. Gives me grief, bless him. So what do my family and friends think about me living out here? And it's a great question, because I'll tell you what, it's a question that you need to ask yourself as well. For the simple reason being is, I think those that have never been to Thailand will never truly understand about this wonderful country that I live in. Because everyone is very judgmental and everybody is spoon-fed information. And I'll give you an example. Where are you going on your holiday? Oh, I'm going to go to Pattaya. Oh, you're a pervert. Why is that then? Well, because I've seen it all on the internet. Do you remember I said the other day about boys with small penises? There you go, one of those cars. Don't know why they do it. Anyway, yeah, so, you know, where are you going? Going to Pattaya. Oh, you're a pervert. Why am I a pervert? Well, I've seen it all on the internet and I've seen all the pictures of the girls. I mean, that's what you're up against. And I'm sure many of you have experienced that yourselves, and I have. And it is very difficult, because unless they've been here, they will truly never understand about the actual concept of coming here. Of course we have the nightlife here, of course we do. But this is a tiny little postage stamp in the whole of Thailand. You know, I head up north, I go back to Korat, to Nakhon Ratchasima, and you know, this world here doesn't exist. There are bars with a few girls, but not like this. You know, I say a few girls, I mean as in like service staff, but that's it. You know, there's no go-go bars, there's none of that stuff. When I go back to my village, we don't even have a 7-Eleven until I get to the main road. So it is very difficult, because people will judge you. And the worst of them are the ones that talk behind your back. I hate those, you know. Oh, you know what Trev's doing? He's living over in Thailand now. He's with all those bar girls. And I'm thinking, what on earth are you going on about, you know? So it is very, very hard. And it's something, if you come here, no matter whether you come here for the first time or whether you come here 100 times, you're going to get that. It is an awful part of what we do here. So you have to just be prepared. You know, it's very difficult, because they are going to talk. Your friends and family are going to talk. Of course, your close family will stand by your side. They may ask you a lot more questions because they want to understand it in a lot more depth. But in general, those friends of yours who you consider to be friends will cast judgment, and they will throw stones. You know, it really is, as sad as it sounds, it is an eventuality that's going to happen. So my advice to you, my friend, is live and let live. Brush it off, whatever, you can think what you like. I really don't care. I'm going to enjoy my life, and to hell with whatever anyone else thinks, because that's how I feel. People can judge me all they want. I really don't care. At the end of the day, come live with me, come live my life, come see what I do. You know, when I'm walking down the beach at 7 o'clock in the morning, enjoying the beautiful views I've got, and you're stuck, well, not you personally, but the person judging me is stuck in their flat in the middle of Wandsworth in the freezing cold, trust me, I smile longer than they do. So, hey-ho, whatever. Right, where are we now? Oh yeah, Mick Hamo 69 said this question: is 55,000 baht a month a good figure to work on in order to live here? Again, you know, this is horses for courses, because it depends on what you want to do. Now, I know you did give me a detailed reply about what you're expecting, so we will go through that. But you know, I think what you've got to balance, and I just touched on it about my morning walk down on the beach, is I think what you've got to do is you've got to balance what you're getting for your money here as opposed to what you can get for the same amount of money wherever it is you are in the world. And if this becomes a benefit rather than a loss, well then come here, you know, and do it. Don't be afraid to make a change in your life, because at the end of the day, what's the very worst that can happen? The very worst that can happen is it doesn't work out. And if you're young enough to go back and go back into employment and recover your losses, well then come and give it a go. You know, it's better to try and fail than never try at all. That's my idea. You know, come, try, check it out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, hey ho, lesson learned, go back. So the question was 55,000 baht a month. And what you said, Mick, is you want to live in a condo. So the condos are average between 7,000 to 10,000 baht on average. There are some slightly cheaper, but they're more like pigeonholes, and there are some a lot more expensive, and they're very palatial. But as an average guide, 7,000 to 10,000 baht will get you a 32 to a 40 square meter condo. You might find a few better, bigger ones for that kind of money. You've got to look around. I mean, I'm lucky, I live on a double balcony, and I pay 10,000 baht a month. So I'm happy with what I pay. You've asked that you want to engage with 2 companions a week. Now you're looking at about 12 to 15,000 baht a month for that. You know, if you take a companion and let's say you're paying 1,500 baht, let's just say, and you do that 2 times, that's 3 grand a week, plus 4 times 4 weeks in the month, that's 15,000 baht, 12,000 baht, but you're gonna have a few beers, whatever, etc, etc. So you're looking at about 15,000 baht there. You've mentioned 20 to 25 beers a week. What I will say to you that, my friend, is please don't do that. And I'm not gonna act like I'm the Messiah and all the rest of it, but all I'm saying to you is 20 to 25 beers is boredom. And you know, you're talking, what's that? That's four beers a day. And if you're talking about large Leos or whatever, you know, it really will take its toll on you. Get out, find things to do, meet new friends, meet new acquaintances, make friends, and go and do stuff. You know, go for a walk along the beach in the morning, or go for a walk along the beach in the evening. Go and exercise, pick up a bike and go cycle. Go and join some of these clubs. Don't just sit at home drinking, because honestly, it really is a downward spiral. And I've seen so many really nice people here suffer at the hands of alcohol, and it really is awful to see people that have to have a drink every single day. It's just mind-blowing, but unfortunately they're so engrossed in it that they don't see it, and it's really awful to watch from the outside. So, you know, 20 to 25 beers a week, I would try and say go out on a Friday and a Saturday night and keep it real. Have a couple of nights out a week where you enjoy yourself. The rest of the time, you know, keep it on the straight and narrow. You know, water, electric and food. If you work on the premise of 500 baht a day for food, well then there's another 15,000 baht a month just for your food. And obviously, you know, water, I mean, water is negligible. You're talking like 100, 200 baht a month max. I mean, in a condo, you'd be lucky to spend that, to be honest, for your water. Electric can be anything between 700 baht to say 1,500 baht a month. So, you know, again, it's not a lot of money. So when you start adding that up, you know, you got 10,000 for your condo, 12,000 for your company, 15,000 for your foods, you know, there's 37,000, you know, your beers and your electric and etc. You know, you are getting close to the 50,000 bracket. And that doesn't take into account transport. You might need a motorbike, maybe you've got to hire a motorbike, fuel to get around, you know, insurance, health insurance, all these kind of little add-ons. So for me, if I was in your shoes, I would say look at where you're living and look at what you're doing out here and compare the two. If coming here is a bonus and it's better, then give it a go, but just try and keep it real, you know, just try, you know, 2 companions a week. If that's your thing, that's your thing, you know. 20 to 25 beers a week, maybe reduce that down. I don't know, you know, I'm only answering your question, but for me, 55,000 baht, if you can live here on 2,000 baht a day, including everything, you're doing okay. You know, you're having a reasonable life. You're not living it up, but you are having a reasonable life, and you're certainly not scraping the bottom of the barrel. So that's my answer to you, my friend. Okay, last question. The last question I got in the live chat that I did on Sunday. And guys, if you were in the live chat, thank you so much for joining. It really is fantastic. I love it. I love it. And tomorrow, Thursday at 5 AM Bangkok time, I'm hoping to try and catch people that can't get on the 5 PM on a Sunday live stream. Tomorrow we're going to have a live stream, and it will be, as always, raw and unplanned, and it's just going to be, guys, you fire your questions at me and we'll just go with the flow and see where you're. Last Sunday was brilliant. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, please have a check. And I had someone say to me, or 2 or 3 people now say to me, oh, it's 2 hours, it's too long. The trouble is where do you draw the line? Because we have such a good laugh, we have such a crack. I don't know where that line should be drawn, but I don't know. Anyway, so the question was photography and drones. What I'm going to say to you guys is, if you go into the temples, please make certain that you're allowed to take photos of the monks. Don't take it for granted. Some temples don't like it. Regarding photos out on the street, remember, if you're taking a candid shot, in other words, the person that's in your focal point doesn't know you're taking that picture, perhaps if it's in a compromising situation, they won't thank you for doing that. So, you know, be very respectful for those people that you're taking the photo of, because that's my angle. You know, I won't put you on camera deliberately. You might fall into the camera shot occasionally, but generally speaking, when I'm doing my work, I'm always going, like, if I'm walking down, I'm like, hello, it's camera, and people will divert off. I try to make it very obvious that I'm making a video so that I don't infringe on your privacy. So, you know, be very careful with these candid shots, because they can put you in hot water. And regarding the drones, you need a license here. You know, you have to go to the Civil Aviation Authority to get a license. Takes about, I think, between 70 to 100 days, something like that. But you do need a license to pop your drone up in the air, because again, you know, if you look at like Google Maps, when they see people, they blur their faces out, because you are covering such a huge area, and there are so many people that can be caught on camera in that particular instance. So with regards to photography, and also with the bars, you know, don't get your camera out in a bar. You know, I'm lucky I'm able to do that, but don't forget the bars bring me in to do my photography. If you're just a random and you walk up and you start taking a picture, honestly, I've seen so many phones that have been smashed. I've seen people assaulted because they do not want you taking photos inside any of the go-go bars and quite a lot of the beer bars. And there are always signs on the wall. And guys, try not to be sneaky and clever, because if they catch you, I promise you, you're in a world of trouble. You know, I've seen so many guys that have got like hidden little cameras, or they're trying to make out they're on the phone. Yeah, hello, love, yeah, I'll be home in 10 minutes for my tea, but really they're videoing. These guys in the security have seen it all before. They've seen it 100 times, and they will take your phone out of your hand and they will check what you're doing. And if you are videoing, you're on a quick exit. So regarding the photography, just be respectful. If you're in a palace, or if you're in a temple, please be respectful and just check first if you can take the photos. If you're out and about on the streets, just be aware of other people's privacy. You know, not everybody wants to be on camera, so please try not to capture too many people in compromise, especially compromising. If they're walking down the street, whilst I would say it's not brilliant, it's probably acceptable, but if they're in a compromising position, i.e. they might be talking to a girl or whatever, please guys, you know, leave them alone, let them enjoy their privacy and don't infringe on that. And with a drone, just make sure you go to the Aviation Authority and get your license, because you will be stopped and you will be asked. All right guys, that's it for me today. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's chat show. It's been great answering the questions. If you do have a question, please pop it in the description below, ask away, or send me an email, 247pattaya@gmail.com. I will collate them all together, and I will be back with you guys next week, same time, same place. I'll probably still be on my balcony. I like it out here. The old sun's a bit bright today. But yeah, I will be back next week, and we will cover off yet more questions that you guys want to ask. So there you go. All right guys, so as always, please, as normal, please remember to hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. Check out our members area. As I say, you know, I introduced some new members earlier on in the video. Please join. Hopefully once you get back over here and things resume to normal, you know, you'll get more than your value back for your money for the membership. I think membership's like 89 baht. It's nothing. So please have a look at that if that's your thing, and support the channel. We'd much appreciated. And guys, join our Telegram group. The link is in the description below. Join up with loads of other people. There's lots of great chat on there, and it really is a bit of fun. All right guys, that's it for me, and please, as always, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.